Here's one of the other areas that I've done. This is a Chuck's Chuck Wagon. It's a Bosch Streamliner caravan that was kind of kit bashed into a food wagon, like a food truck. So managed to put a grill. I think hopefully you can see the eggs and sausages getting cooked on the outside. I was made aware that the flags are around the wrong way. The American flag should be on the left. So I done this when I was about 20, I think. So I had no appreciation for that at the time. But I can't change it because it would just disintegrate if I'd try to. So it's taken from the perspective of the chef. But that's I'm really pleased with that. It fits in well. It's lit inside. It's got the door at the back I've managed to cut open, and it's a really nice wee bit. I didn't know that it still existed. I thought it was gone. But there's Chuck inside there. So it's nice to get that on the layout. And then there's an American cap here, which I've no idea where that came, why that would be here, but it's here. And I like it. And I'll go and take you over to the next part. This here is Cargill Grain Refinery. This was going to be the start of my steelworks up here. But I picked up some really nice grain cars and thought it would look... I didn't have any grain on the layout, so I thought I'll add something in where I can take some grain. So the steelworks kind of stopped being a thing on the layout, and I ended up building this, what I've got here. So it's made up of 2 or 3 different kits. What we've got is the ADM, I think it's called Grain Refinery kit, which I've kind of flattened against the back scene here, and I've given a wee bit of enough room just to get the unloading in, and then the loading part for trucks at the back side there I've managed to fit onto the end. If you hopefully can see that with the light. And there's still a lot more details and things to go in here just now. It's just basically this area has been very roughly ballasted and then put some ground cover and things like that in it. It's still to be well finished off, a lot of trees to be added and things, but it's coming on. So what I've done is I've used the main grain refinery building here, which we can see a chimney stack just covers the join on between the 2 back scenes. And then I've got this, I think it was kind of the downtown waterside warehouse, I think it was called. So I've done this kit for in here, put a transfer on it, detailed inside it, added some lighting. Not too happy with the lighting, to be fair. I'm a bit bright at the top there, as you'll probably see for the camera. The rest isn't too bad, but you can see some of the detailing. I left the plastic glazing out of this because the amount of times that I get glare and I couldn't see anything, it was just pointless. It was no good. And then the last part was a pickle plant that John Bowman picked up for me at a model railway show. This is one part of it that here I've just used as like a small depot. So it just finishes that off. And then I've still to go down this area here, still to obviously be complete. This is the final stretch, so there's going to be a van parked in here for van vehicle loading. So it's looking no bad. So that there is the grain refinery as it stands there now, which is quite pleased with. One of the other areas of the lake I've been working on is this very last bottom corner. As you can see when I turn round and go up this direction, this is what I'm calling the last stretch at the top here. The grain refinery is just up the top there, and then I've got to decide what to put in between here and this part down the bottom. Probably just warehouses and things, but add some backgrounds and details and things, but not a lot to do. And as far as the front goes, so this is going to be an old station building and shed where a preserved line's housed. Now they're quite common in the UK, where you get a preserved line, a bit of land and some steam trains running out. In America I think you have them as well. I've seen one at Strasbourg, which is quite cool. But this is going to be a kind of mix of how the two of them would be done. So this is in a station building, which you're basically going to do a preserved line. I've got a Challenger, Union Pacific Challenger, and I'm going to buy the observation car to stick behind it. And that will just run through the layout, mainly to get people to clear the main line to get this to run through. So what I'm going to have this here is this shed is going to be like, it's almost going to be a museum, a rail museum. There's going to be like a viewing platform that you'll be able to see inside it, and then on the outside another viewing platform when the train's on the outside. And then I'm going to put some placards and billboards and different things like that along here just to advertise like a kind of museum would, and any other parts and pieces that I could find. Hey, I'm thinking about a caboose on some rails because I know that's quite common. They also have some big locomotives on the hill. A big boy, I think. I think they've got the big gas turbine as well on one, I think. Or the Centurion, it might be, on a hill as well. So I'm thinking of something like that, and it might be a little bit different. So I've decided for my sins to make this paving. So I'm actually doing individual paving slabs for this. Looks a bit rough and ready now, but when you add the scenics in round about them, they should hopefully start to take shape a little bit. So there's a paved area going in there. So this is like a toilet block at the side, and then maybe like a canteen bit, and then a booking office just at the end. And then my plans for this part here is like a market or like stalls. So I've found some stalls, so there's going to be paths running through that. There's going to be grass, some food stalls, lots of people, maybe like a park with a swing around about or something for the kids to sit on there. So that's, and then at the end here is just going to be like a yard section for the preserved line, which will be no access to the public. Maybe put like a cabin or a container or something in there, just to maybe for storing materials, something like that. Got something else potentially into there. So this is this area here. A lot of detail, and that shed still to be painted properly, and the station building to be fair as well. This is coming along. So this is the final leg. This leg here, the main buildings right along the back at the top here. I've got all the main buildings in the layout elsewhere. All the main industries are in. All the tracks down. It's all ballasted. Everything's done. Lots of details to be added. Lots and lots of details to be added. This section here is completely scenic as far as ballast and as far as ballast buildings and that go. There's still a lot of small detail parts to be added, but that'll happen over years and years and years. Quite happy, and I'm quite happy with that. My helix is a lot further on as well. It's a bit dark, sorry. There's still a bit of detail to be added into that, but pleased with how that is. And then as we come round here to West Altoon Works, it's pretty much done. The yard at the bottom is this an interchange, so I'm going to have some crap lying about in between the tracks down there, and then I've got telegraph poles to add and detailing parts. But once the main buildings are ballasted and all the buildings are in and the groundworks round about each building's done, then I can worry about the micro detail like that. A few of the locos I've picked up over the past wee while is the first responders, 911 NS, and also this AC44, which is nice. And then the honouring the veterans Loco as well. And there's a couple of others. SD40-2 is one of them, and then I have two other locos, which are currently all been. I've just chipped them, so they're on the shelf waiting to get a couple run on different things. And this is the final stretch, the last step. So these parts here, this black space with the tracks, small industry, some type to put into here, basically, and then something else down here, unsure what to put in, and then finish up that part at the bottom. Then lots of lighting to add. But yeah, that's how it is there now. So it's been a really good month. Really lots of trains bought, lots of detail and buildings added, starting to get a lot of ballast done. I've added my first switch off on the main layout. What I'm calling the local switch has been added at the far end. It still needs fixed up into the fascia just now, but that's the first one's done. So I know we know how that works. It's been tested, so that I can go to the dispatcher panel and I can flick all the switches off the dispatcher panel to locally switch the switches. So that's something I wanted to do if I was in here myself, just playing with trains. And then when I have a running session, I can switch it back to be dispatcher run. So it's really good to have an option on both there. But yeah, so hopefully over the next month, I've got my boy's just had his birthday, so I've been really busy with that, and then football stopped, but hopefully we'll get I get a lot more added in before going on holiday in July, and then at the end of this month, the start of next, I'll put another video up with the updates I've managed to add in. If you have any suggestions for some background buildings that would look good in that area just after the grain mill and in between the reserve line shed, then stick them in the comments. Always keeping in my eye out for different things, and maybe people know something different that I've not seen before that I could put in the layout that'd be a little bit different. But yeah, really happy with everything. Hope you're all well. Take it easy. Thanks for your time. Cheers.